Right, today's the day. It's MOT time for the Rusty Rocket, and this really makes or breaks the sale price, whether the bike has 2 weeks MOT or 12 months MOT. I'm going to do the checks and then we'll go to the MOT station and see what they say. Right, that is dipped. That's main beam, right indicators, left indicators, indicators cancel, brake light works. Rear tyre has got 4mm of tread. The front tyre, however, has only got 1.6mm of tread depth, which is on the limit. So this is probably something they're going to draw attention to. Brake pads and discs, well, plenty of meat left on the disc. Got new pads at the front. Rear discs, also plenty of meat left on them, not cracked or anything. The pads probably about 2 or 3mm. I've given the bike a clean, kind of superstitious, but I kind of think if you clean the bike before it goes to MOT, you've got more chance of it passing.
It looks amazing. Well done.
So yeah, we'll get going now in a minute, and
yeah. Go now or in a minute?
Now in a minute.
I love that one.
I know.
Now in a minute.
Right, well, I've actually got a totally clean MOT, which is a huge surprise, but obviously I'm delighted. Expiry date 15th of June 2026. So that's brilliant, nothing wrong with the Rocket. Right, MOT passed, got 12.5 months of MOT on the bike. Now the other big thing to do is to give it a full service. Right, there was actually 3 sump plugs on the Rocket 3, which is a bit strange, and they were on really tight, so the standard Allen key isn't really up to it. So luckily I've got one of these, which is an 8mm hex key, and then like a little bit of WD-40 and a little bit of wire brush first, try and loosen it and then get it off. So all the old oil is out, and we've got like some genuine Triumph parts to go on. Right, well, the Rocket's been serviced, oil filter, air filter. I'm blown away by how easy it is to work on this bike. It is big, it is heavy, but as far as the servicing is concerned, oil filter on the front, air filter under the seat, easiest thing in the world. It takes 5 litres of oil, mind you, which is a lot for a bike, but it's really easy to work on. So I think that's something that you should probably think about if you're thinking of buying an older Rocket. You can actually do the servicing yourself. We've now got the 12 months MOT, or just over 12 months. I've been out on the bike, I've taken it for a long ride, went out with my dad, which was absolutely hilarious. Him on his Thunderbird, me on the Rocket. He likes it, too big a bike for him, too big a bike for most of us if we're honest. But we had a great time, 2 classic style Triumphs, big sweeping roads. He chose the best routes. He chose the route for the Rocket really, so no narrow lanes or anything like that. And I just had a great time, just like father and son out on the bikes. You can't fault it, can you? So that was top. Susie's been on the back of it. We've been over to up to Pond 7, had a nice little meal out. We had some tapas. A few people came to talk to us about the bike. It does draw attention. Even my example, which started off looking pretty ropey, gets loads of attention. People come walk over and talk to you about it, ask like, what's it like? It's a crazy bike. I'm also blown away with the quality of the Rocket and Triumph in general, actually. The step up to Triumph is something quite like, it's quite special when you actually own one and everything's made of metal and chrome and hewn out of solid pieces of aluminium. It's really well made. It just feels kind of really special. Obviously it's a Rocket Free, so it's special, but it has got that like Triumph specialness to it. And it's got me thinking really, I've never really mentioned this on the channel before because I didn't want to kind of come across as like not knowing anything. I was a bit embarrassed when I started, but I only passed my motorcycle test in 2019. So I'm relatively inexperienced as a motorcyclist. And that means it's almost like a double-edged sword though, because I've got a lot to learn, but then how fun is it to go through life learning and experiencing? So I've done the Royal Enfields and the BSAs, I've spent a lot of time on them, and I might dip my toe in the world of Triumph and maybe some of the Japanese bikes. So the Rocket's kind of opened the door for me on that, which is really great. We've had a lot of support on the Rocket. So Keywave sent me the mirrors. These are the Stan polished stainless mirror. They're £75 delivered, and they came in, I think, they came from Taiwan. Taiwan, is that how you say it? They came in, I think, 8 days, and they are Triumph fitment. So this 8mm threaded bolt goes through a convex glass. So even though the mirror shows that much, you actually see a wider field of view. They're absolutely brilliant, and they really set the bike off. So thank you to Keywave. I've also got to thank Bikeshaw for supporting the channel and supporting the Rocket. I've had great experiences with Bikeshaw. I literally cannot fault them at all. Will, who is part of the new business team, does not feel like you're talking to an insurance company when you talk to Bikeshaw. And Michelle, who handled my renewal, they're just the loveliest people. It is literally like not ringing a call centre. It's like ringing a friend when you ring Bikeshaw. It's mad. I actually discontinued my auto renewal on Bikeshaw, thinking I would be clever and save money. And then it ended up I didn't save money, and I just had to ring them back up and say, I'm sorry, I cancelled my auto renewal. Can you add me back on, please? So the Rocket, and the final point which I'm going to talk about is HPI. Because there was a few things that people said in the comment section. Oh, you're deceiving they're suggesting I was deceiving people by not telling people it was Cat N. And I did buy the bike on a spares and repairs from one of these kind of big auction companies that takes all the kind of poorer condition bikes that dealers don't want. And my bike was poor condition when it came through, and it has got damage, showing it's been dropped, because you've got the ding on the tank, scuff on the exhaust, someone's done a U-turn or whatnot, and they've wobbled, the bars are folded, hit the tank, and you've scuffed the exhaust. So I thought, right, I better settle this because I have to advertise the bike correctly. So I went to Midwest Moto, asked them to run an HPI check, a full search of all their database, and I was remarkably surprised to see this came back as HPI clear. So I thought, brilliant, I've now got a low mileage, serviced 12-month MOT, HPI clear, Rocket Free Roadster. I was literally jumping up and down, so excited. Got home and I began to think, well, what if it isn't? I can't possibly mislead a buyer. So I thought, right, I'll just run another. So a friend of mine, who's an ex-police officer, he recommended Vehicle Score. So I used that one, came back again. Not recorded as stolen, not recorded as write-off, not recorded as accident damage, not recorded as anything. So it's basically a brilliant, now fairly good condition Rocket 3. So I'm super chuffed. As you can tell, this is probably the last kind of closing off video I'm going to do on the Rocket 3, and we're actually going to drop off the channel for a period of time. And you might notice there was a bit of a break between the last update and this one. Susie and I are actually moving house. So super stressful time, boxes everywhere, trying to ring round removals companies to get the lowest quote. And spoiler alert, it's horrifically expensive to move house. Susie has got chronic illness. She can't get up at 8 in the morning, pack boxes till 6 o'clock and move heavy furniture around. It would basically kill her. She'd be out. So she's sorting, I'm packing, Susie's mum and dad are coming round. But as a result, there isn't any time for YouTube, there's no time for videos. So I'm going to sign off from the channel and we'll restart, we'll get that engine going again in a number of weeks. Whenever we're settled and we've got all our furniture in and the bikes have moved and all that. Thanks for your support, and yeah, we're fine, we're just moving house. So we'll see you all soon.